Hey guys, myself Rakesh and I welcome you back to my channel. Let's read this question. This is the question coming from UiPath Advanced Certification Preparation Series. Now let's see what is the right answer. During testing, a process fails due to the timeout. Okay, just imagine there is a process that you have created which has got multiple activities, and one of the activity there's a timeout because of which the process has failed. The developer wants to know every activity. The developer wants to know every activity the process completed while reviewing the logs in Orchestrator. That means he wants to know in which activity, or let's say there are 10 activities for example. Out of those 10 activity, let's say the third activity has failed. Understanding? Now in the third activity, so he wants to know how many activity in the process completed. So out of 10, 2 completed, on the third it has failed. While reviewing the logs in Orchestrator, he doesn't want to review the logs in the local system, but this has to be reviewed within the Orchestrator. So how this, what is the meaning of it? I'm going to show you in a demo. To ensure the logs provide the descriptive information, which logging label must be set? Are you going to use information logging label? Are you going to use critical? Are you going to use verbose, or are you going to use trace? So what is the right answer? Let's learn it through one small experiment. Okay, so let's get back to our UiPath Studio. Let's say this is a very simple, I am saying a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to a plus b. Just doing a sum. This is a simple process which I have created, and here I am showing the output. Here I am going to show the output. So the main agenda of the question is the developer wants to know every activity the process completed. Okay, so how this is logged, let me tell you. First of all, design a simple activity like this, okay, which has got all the assign, 3 assign activity, one message box. Below that, what I have done, I have used a log message activity, and in the log message activity, when you click, the top one is the fatal or the critical error, second is the error 1, info and trace. So for all this, right, for all this there is a complete around 45 minutes of a long video which I have created explaining all of it. So if you are coming to this question, I believe you have a bit of understanding what is a fatal error, what is fatal, what is error, what is a warning, what is the information trace, what are all this. You should have a bit of knowledge. If not, this video also will help you to give a lot of hints. Now log message. So I have taken 1, 2, the second one I have selected error, the third one I have selected warning, and I am writing a message called R1, R error, R fatal. Any message you can type, doesn't matter. So I've written some message just to understand. Okay, so similar way I have done it for info, I have done it for info, warning, and then info I have done, and then I have done it for trace. Okay, those are the all the options. Verbose you do not have it. Okay, you will not have verbose. That is something set from the UiPath Assistant. So all you do as of now, before you wanted to have a complete understanding, just design this simple process, okay, as I have shown you. Okay, once you have designed, just pause this video for a moment, design this. Okay, that's where you will learn. Once you have designed it, let's publish it. Okay, I hope you paused it, you have already created this, and now I am going to publish it. So I am going to publish this to Orchestrator. Let's hit on publish. Okay, before you publish, ensure your UiPath Assistant is connected. So open the UiPath Assistant. If there is a red mark, then you will have trouble. Ensure this turns to a green. Click on that button. Okay, now it has turned green. That means now I can send it. Okay, so let's go to UiPath Studio, and in the publish process, hit on next, and publish it. Nothing much to do here. Now once this is done, let's log into our UiPath Studio. Okay, so for that, let me close this window, and from the beginning, let me quickly log on to cloud.uipath.com. Okay, and here in the studio you should find a message which says project published successfully, and the version number is 1.0.5. that means I've done it 5 times. Okay, if you are doing for the very first time, you may have 1.0.1. okay, now let it log in. All right, it has logged in. Let me hit on the tenant. So how to create a tenant, if you do not know, there are also very specific videos that I've created. Okay, so once you get on to tenant, right, so here what I will do, I'm going to hit on the tenant button over here and then hit on the packages. So if you go to the packages, you will see, if you hit on this 3 dots and hit on view version, you will see the 1.0.5 which has been uploaded to Orchestrator, but still it's inactive. So how do I make it active? So for that, I will go to the specific folder. For example, my studio is connected to the IT folder. Different folder. Just check on your studio where it is connected. Now, wherever it is connected to, go to Orchestrator. Okay, so how to create a folder, everything, go through that video which would help you. So I'll go to this specific folder and then I'm going to hit on processes. Simple. Now here I had this process before. If you do not have this process, what you can do, you can hit on add a process and you can select the specific process that you have uploaded. Okay, and hit on next. It will automatically publish the package. Now because since I have already done it, you can see all I have to do, hit on this, select this, and I wanted to update it. So let's edit. Okay, instead of 1.0.4 I will make 1.0.5. okay, main.xml. if you are doing it for the very first time, again you have to do the same thing, just that here it will ask you to select the package and select the version, hit on next, okay, automated with Rakesh, normal, okay, everything is fine, and then I'm going to hit on update. All right, so once it is updated, if you open your UiPath Assistant and try to refresh it, you'll see it is saying awaiting install. So let me install it, or let me try to run it. So what is happening the moment I am running anything? So what happened, the project was on the studio, then I have published it, it went to the orchestrator, and in the orchestrator, in the given specific folder, I have updated the process. If there is no process already available for you, you can add a process, so that time you will be able to see it. That is all the same process. So once it is all done, once you have added the process, what happens when you run this, it is going to automatically get pushed to your UiPath Assistant. So you can see it has got pushed and it has started running. The moment it starts running, what we have designed to show the message, right, the sum of 10 plus 20, the output should be 30. Now you can see on my screen you got this output as 30. Okay, so that means the process has run. Now what we are interested to know the logs. So where do you find logs in Orchestrator? Look at this, because the process has been run within this folder. Beside this process tab, there is something called logs. Okay, so hit on logs. Getting it? So once the process is run, this log has come. So you can see there are a lot of logs, and today's date is March 25th. So for 25th at so and so time, now you see the timing of my orchestrator is in a different time zone. How do I change it? If I have to change it, go to tenant and then click on this arrow, go to settings, and here you have the option to select as my time zone, which will be plus 5:30 for India. Okay, this is my time zone. Okay, and then once it is done, okay, there's no, the save button is not enabled. That's fine. Let's go back to the IT folder, go to the process, go to the logs, and hopefully the timing should now appear as per the Indian timing. So looks like the timing has not yet changed. It is still saying 1.45.pm. Let me try again. Settings. Let me, change it to some other time, save it, and then change it back, and then save it. Okay, settings successfully saved. Let's go to the process. Let's go to the logs. Let me try to refresh. Okay, correct. Now it is coming correctly. 11, this is 11 p.m. So yeah, it's coming correctly now. So probably I got confused. But again, see, the logs have come over here, right? So how these logs are coming, I'm going to explain you one by one. In the process, we have used several logs, right? One is the fatal type, the other one is error type, the other one is warning type, and the info and the trace type. What I'm going to do, I'll open the UiPath Assistant. For experiment purpose, open UiPath Assistant, hit on preferences. Okay, now in the preferences, there is an option. I can choose what I need. For example, let's say I only want to see the fatal. I don't want to see anything else. So there is an option to choose that. I'm going to show it, and how that works, this demo is going to help you completely. Okay, so the preferences page has come. Hit on the orchestrator settings, and here in the log label, first of all, let's try. I'm going to turn it off. Okay, turn it off. Now try to run it. Now I'm going to run this. Okay, so once the process runs, because I have turned off all the logs, the time is 11:05. If it is 11:05, if I refresh this, see, 11:01 was the last time it has run. Now you see there is no, the last run was this automation with Rakesh execution ended, but there is nothing has been added. Now what I'm going to do, I'll go to the UiPath preferences page once again, and here let me select critical. I have selected critical now. Now let's try to run from UiPath Assistant once again. Keep it aside. Okay, so the execution is completed here from the UiPath Assistant. Let's go and refresh it. The time is 11:06. Okay, so what happened? If you see, when I have selected it to critical, only the log message which said R fatal, or the fatal or critical, both are same. Okay, this fatal or critical. So only this thing has been logged. Nothing else has been logged. So this did not come. This did not come. At what time the execution started, even that information did not appear. Right. So this you have seen. Now let's do one thing. Let's make it to error. If I make it to error and try to run it, and let me run it once again. So I've created a very small process. So now the execution is complete. Let's go back to orchestrator and try to refresh it. So when I said error, what happened? The third time when I run it, it said it logged two messages, R fatal and error. So that means you must understand there is something very important thing that you should understand. Let me open a notepad. And here you should understand, when there are several types of log messages, when you are selecting critical or fatal, both are same. Okay, this is the top one, critical and fatal. So the moment I say, when I set the instance here, when I'm going to set the log label to critical, what is happening? Only the critical has been logged, nothing else has been logged. Okay, when I set it to error, what happened? Now error and above, so this and the previous one will be logged, error and above will be logged. So you can see here error has been logged and also the fatal has been logged. Now let's run it. Now the time is 11:08. Now if I run it once again, so this experiment, that's why I'm saying please develop this on your studio. So while you are watching my video and trying to do it, you will have a complete knowledge. Okay, this I have run it. Let's go back to the studio and refresh it. So what happened this time? Fatal has come. Okay, I did not change it, right? Okay, sorry. So let's make it to, so we have seen critical, we have seen error. Now let's set it to warning. The moment I set it to warning, and let's run this. Okay, so the execution completed. Let's go back. Okay, you are running from your local system, but again the logs are being sent because of the preference settings there. So let's refresh it. Because I have set it to warning, the third one is warning. Okay, the third one is warning. So what is the rule? The rule says warning and above will be logged. That means I should find warning, error, and fatal. Okay, or critical. So when you refreshed it at 11:09 you saw fatal, you also saw error, you also saw warning. Okay, what will happen if I'm going to change it to information? So by default the orchestra settings will be at information stage. So when you say information, I've set it to information. Let's run it. Okay, now it is saying the execution is completed. Let's go back to orchestrator and refresh it. This time what happened? See, this time, last time it was showing till warning, but the moment I have set it to information, what happened? Automate at what time the execution of the process started. It has noted the time. It has written the fatal log message. It has written the error log message. It has also written the warning, and then it has also written the info, and also it has also written when the execution started and when the execution completed. Okay, so the fourth one you should remember, when you are applying the fourth log label, which is info, when you apply this info and above, all things will be logged if they are there in your process. Info and above will be logged, and along with that it will also log start and end of process, start and end time of execution, at what time the execution started and at what time the execution completed. Okay, these are the two extra information you will get when you set it to info, which is the default one. Now if I go ahead and select it to trace, okay, if I go ahead and select this to trace, and if I run the automation once again, so this time it is in the trace. Okay, so the execution is completed. Let's go back to the orchestrator. This was the last one. Let me refresh at 11:10. Let me refresh. Okay, now look at it here, the automate with Rakesh, right? All this information has come along with fatal, error, warning, info, trace, automate with Rakesh. Okay, all these things have come. So you may not find a much of difference between trace and info. Almost all the information has appeared, apart from in the info it was only showing till info, right? Here it will show until trace. There is also log message called trace. This also has been added. So what happened when I'm selecting trace? Again the same rule applies. Trace and above. Trace and above, all these logs will be registered, and it will also have start and end of execution. Getting it? Start and end of execution you cannot find it in warning. You cannot, if you set it to error, you cannot find it. If you set it to fatal, you will not find it. This will only start from info. Okay, and from there it continues. The last one is verbose. When you go with verbose, if you looked at our question, the developer wants to know every activity the process completed, every activity. So now if you read the log when we have set it to orchestrator, right, there is no activity. So we had some multiple activities, right? We had three assign activities, one message box. So all this activity, did you find any kind of information about the activity even though you have selected trace? You did not. Now in the verbose mode, what would happen? You will find more details. So if I go ahead and select, let me go to the preference page. Now in the preference page, I'm going to select verbose. Now let us run from UiPath Assistant. Okay, let's run from UiPath Assistant. So the execution completed. Let's go back and refresh. Now you would see the moment I have refreshed it, what happened? Automation execution ended. Let's go down. Let's see. This is the last time where it is saying ended, and this is the current one. So execution started, and then here it's saying main executing. Then it's saying log labels is the sequence name. Okay, log label is nothing but the sequence name. The sequence is executing, and then it's saying assign is executing, assign closed, assign executing, assign closed, assign is executing, assign closed, message box executing, message box closed. Do you see? Then it's saying R fatal, and then log message executing, log message closed. Then R error comes. Getting it? R error. This is the R error. So all these things are all the activity level details will only appear when you set it to verbose level. Okay, so this example should give you a clear-cut idea. For this answer, if the developer wants to know every activity the process has completed, so wherever it has failed, from there it will stop. But again, every activity the process has completed is going to show. So the answer for this question, you should set it to verbose. To ensure the logs provide the descriptive information which logging label must be set, it should be, the answer is verbose. And also few more information that I would like to show. If you go here, let's say if I go to any assign activity, okay, assign closed, assign is executing, assign closed. Okay, so all you can see object assign closed, label trace, then all this information, all the information about the activity information is available on the orchestrator. Okay, if you do it on the studio, again you will find the values. If you read the execution log on a local system, that all, for that also go through that complete video. Okay, let me show you which video I am talking about. Sorry, that is not yet published, but the video you are going to get it on 25th Saturday, so on March 25th Saturday. So go through that video. It's a 45 minutes detailed video that I've created, which is going to help you completely. Okay, so you can answer any question that comes around logging labels. So thank you guys for watching it. So you got to know the correct answer, and you got a proper explanation why this is the right answer. Thank you guys for watching. We are going to meet again once again in our next video. Take care. Bye bye.